pick scary movie. What's your favorite scary movie?
Cindy went with Steve. She's her own bubble butt boyfriend, Billy. You're evil. Some slack. She watched her mom get butchered. Where do you get this shit? You are pathetic.
Get ready to join Nancy Ann Ritter, aka Nar, as she and Jar Jar Jeremy try to face their fears of all things horror. Along with their guru of gore, Kevin Crooksy, they will watch and give their critiques of some of the best the horror genre has to offer. Will they succeed? Find out on the re-education of Nancy Ann Ritter. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the re-education of Nancy Ann Ritter. And tonight we watched a fantastically jolly of a good time, I'd have to say. Silent Night, Deadly Night. And, oh, by the way, I'm here with Nancy Ann Ritter and Kevin Crooksy. Like, good Lord.
And I'm trying to do I can't show my tit shots for Silent Night, but here they are, everybody.
Tatas, everyone. Tatas.
Everyone that's listening, see, this is why you should watch.
Yeah. I was like, finally, a movie with boobies.
And they were nice boobies. Every single booby.
Now, do you know Linnea?
I haven't done a convention with. Have I done a convention? I maybe did. Tony did a convention with Linnea.
She does them all over the place. No, she's very nice, and like she does like animal charity stuff. Like she does like fosters animals, which is got a spot in my heart. So yeah. She's great. But yeah, she did a lot of that kind of stuff back in the day.
I know Linnea played Denise. Is Denise the one who got hung on the deer? Linnea was hot to trot.
Let me tell you, we have to watch Return of the Living Dead because she's even hotter in that.
And she's still beautiful now.
Yes,
of course.
Totally.
But man, oh man.
Yeah.
She's still flashing her tatas now?
I don't believe so. She was just your friend James just put out a movie. I forget what it's called. We just had him on a couple weeks ago, but she was in that for a little bit.
She had to retire the boobies.
Jar Jar, was she at Maryland Pop? No, was she at Tidewater maybe this past year?
Linnea Quigley?
I don't think
I'm
so.
putting you on the spot.
You are. I'm totally blanking out for most of the year, but I don't think was she.
I don't think. I feel no, and I haven't. I don't think so.
I know I didn't have her on any of my question things, so I don't think she was.
So she okay, yeah. And I haven't done a convention with her yet, but
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. It's all over the place. And by the way, I found the quote that I would have put on my name or under my name if I had thought of it. It's "You better run, boy. You better run for your life."
My God. Grandpa.
Go to
that is the creepiest part of the entire movie. I got chills as soon as that happened.
He's great.
Grandpa. Okay, hold on. First,
inside
I have to
the
acknowledge
insane asylum.
Jar Jar, I'm going to get coffee, so I'm just acknowledging that.
Yes,
Kevin
I'm going to get
Kevin. Nancy Ann Ritter is Nancy Ann, but my favorite is Nar, as you all know.
Nar.
But so Grandpa, okay, I literally just watched Silent Night.
They went at one point. They're traveling towards the beginning of the movie. They're traveling to go to the grandfather. He's in like a home.
Oh yes.
And like when the parents leave the room, he turns and starts talking to the kid,
the little boy. Yeah. Billy.
Like I knew it was gonna happen too, but God, it gave me chills when it did. He's just like, boy, do you know about Santa Claus? And I'm just like, no.
And the little boy, little Billy's, he was perfect little actor with the big brown eyes and the little narrow mouth and lips. And oh yeah, that scene was terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Let's start off with that, because that's
Okay.
how the movie starts, right?
That's exactly where the movie starts. It's fun right from the beginning. Like,
Battling.
no, you can't stay up to wait for Santa. He's gonna kill your ass.
But they're traveling, and he's complaining because he wants to be able to get home to see Santa and all this other stuff.
Yeah. Also, if he doesn't get home in time to go to sleep on time,
Right.
will he get punished? And
Yes, yes.
So
I always thought when I was little that if I didn't keep my eyes shut the whole night, that Santa would not come, and that I wouldn't hear the little rain. Well, that Santa would not come, and so I kept my eyes shut the whole time, and then I did hear the little reindeer hooves on the roof because I kept them shut, and Santa did come. Because Santa Claus exists.
Again.
Santa Claus is real.
Oh, I believe this.
Yeah.
I was never a good kid, so I didn't know for real.
Were you naughty, Kevin?
Yeah.
Or naughty Kevin.
That was odd. No.
Were you a bad boy?
Huh. Yeah. No, I was pretty naughty. Yeah. I'm sure Jar Jar was naughty as well. We're both
yes.
hooligans, but nerds at the same time. But anyways, so yeah, it starts with that, and then it after the kid gets all freaked out with his grandfather at the old folks home or whatever they're at, things go south quickly.
Very quickly. Like, all of a sudden we're in a gas station. Santa's robbing somebody. I'm like, Santa, what are you doing?
Old
Okay.
Saint.
Do you all hear? I still don't know how to turn off those laptop sounds. Could you hear them?
It's fine.
No, I'm not
Okay.
hearing any of them.
Okay, I'm so sorry, everybody. I don't know how to. Okay, good. Okay. If they get annoying, Kevin, just tell me. Although I don't, I don't know how to turn them off. Okay.
Well, we'll just scream and yell at you. Damn it,
Wait.
Nar.
Damn
Nar!
Okay.
Quiet over there. With all
Yeah,
your
the
bells
whole-
and whistles.
I just want to say, you all, and then when it comes time for my notes, I took notes, but I just want to say that Kevin and Jar Jar, I'm every time I think I couldn't be traumatized more, you both up the ante, and Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I do want can you show off your sweater, Jar Jar, for everybody?
The Superman one.
That.
It's pretty ugly.
The little Superman.
Yeah.
But yeah, you all have. I can't. You're desensitizing me to death and killing. Not that I'm going to go on a killing spree, but and I'm still terrified. But yeah, you've traumatized. I guess no, you haven't desensitized me, but you've you are successfully just killing me with each film.
Well, what about the death trap that they're driving in? Like, nobody's in a seatbelt at all. Kids in the back.
The days. That's how it was.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how it
kids
was.
in the mom's arms. I'm just like, there's no baby seats here. We're all gonna die.
I didn't even know.
Mind you, they're driving a tank.
I'm sure we all remember, because I can remember being excited the first time my dad had a car that had seatbelts.
Really?
Oh yeah, because my dad had plenty of he liked older cars. Like, they weren't like junk or anything like that, but because my dad is an older dude. He was born in 1939, so like he just liked LeBarons and stuff like that. So
Baron.
yeah, Chrysler LeBarons, and so growing up, we would slide across whenever you take a corner a little sharp.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
My
and then
brother
we'd also
almost
be
went
wearing
out the door
short
one
shorts in
time.
the summer, so we'd stick to the seat.
Oh, stick to the seats.
Yeah.
Big
Love
time.
those short shorts.
Yeah,
We had a banana yellow Ford LTD, the really long kind, and we never wore seatbelts. And I would sometimes sit. They were me and my two older sisters, and sometimes I would sit in the middle between my mom and dad up front. But yeah, we never wore seatbelts.
There's something we didn't know about you, Nar. You have two older sisters.
Yeah, but I could not talk about them.
Oh, never mind. Screw that.
I have two older sisters as well.
I have a younger one.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to talk about her either.
Well, my sisters would never know if I talked about them because just like most of my family,
Oh,
they don't watch or support anything in. I agree. And on that note, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Families.
Merry
Right?
Christmas.
I can't wait for it to be over. Anyway. So yeah, let's get back into the movie. So they're driving home.
Wait, what'd you say, Jar?
I said I agree with that sentiment of I can't wait for it to be over.
Oh yeah. This is a bad time of year for a lot of people.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I'm finally, because I think I see a light at the end of the tunnel, so I'm finally getting a little more chipper about things.
That's good.
Yeah. And I'm also playing it off well. I have bad days. I have bad hours during the day. You know what I mean? Like, totally off subject. I'm sorry, because we have to get back to the movie. But my work had it was like a mental, like, awareness kind of like seminar thing that everyone was invited to. And I went, and a couple other people from my department went, and like one of the girls like was triggered within like the first 5 minutes, and she's like, I can't stay. And she just logged off. I stayed on the whole time, and I was like extremely uncomfortable the entire time because everything they were saying was triggering me for what I'm dealing with. And I'm just like, I hated every minute of that. I hated it.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, and I'm just like, everything you're saying, like you're like, oh, this is how you would handle it in the workplace. I'm like, no, you can't. No, you can't, because you get yourself written up if you do, because it's a popularity contest. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's yeah, exactly.
High school.
You graduate from high school just so you can go over it and over it again and again and again. It's ridiculous. I'm going to be 50 years old in a couple of years. Like, I'm past this. Let's go. Let's be adults about this.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Ruff, ruff. Let's go. Anyway.
Speaking of which, Santa Claus.
Yeah. Right? Speaking of let's go.
Ho, ho,
Like,
ho.
my God, what got into that, man?
The let's go from the old folks' home. Santa's robbing places. Santa's just like in the street.
Bad luck day.
Yeah, for real.
For real, like.
I was like, don't stop, you motherfucker.
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
stop the car.
Yeah, he should have been like my stepdad. You never stop for any hitchhikers or anything. You fucking hit them with the water as you go by.
Yeah. And little Billy was telling him not to stop.
Right.
Oh, yeah, don't stop for Santa. Poor little Billy.
Yeah. So he gets to witness both of his parents be murdered in front of his eyes by the Santa Claus. And I was shocked that, like, I hadn't seen this in a while, and in my mind I thought he killed the baby as well.
I thought so too at first until we saw later at the orphanage. I was just like, oh shit, the baby got it too.
Yeah.
I'm like, that kid's gonna be messed up. I'm like, oh, that's where we're going.
Yeah. Then it cuts to the orphanage, and it's he's having a problem. Every year at Christmas time he has a problem. Go figure.
God damn it, Mother Superior.
Yeah.
She'll beat it out of him.
She was a bitch.
I
She did her
wanted
job
him to
well.
kill her at the end.
Oh yeah. It would have been good if that was his last hurrah,
No.
If they shoot him and then he's like, whoops, and he's just like
Punish.
Yeah, punish.
But yeah, it's as an actress, she killed it. She was a woman.
Yeah.
And it just, the punishment that he goes through growing up, it kind of goes over it quickly because the movie's not very long. But it goes over it quickly. And there's even things where like he's supposed to be in his room, another nun comes in to let him out of the room because he's been in there long enough. And as he's getting ready to go out, he hears a noise. He's peeking through the peephole, and someone's banging in a closet.
Yeah.
And then
were those kids or were they?
I think they were older kids.
I was thinking so as well. I was like, at first I thought it was one of the other nuns.
That's
like,
right.
Yeah,
like a young novitiate.
Yeah,
a young nun.
I think they were like older kids because, with those kind of places, you're out once you're 18. So they could have been 17-year-olds or 16 or whatever. And then she goes outside and she's like, so what did you see? He's like, I didn't see anything. And she's like, good.
I got this mullet.
He's like, I just got this mullet to worry about. I don't know what you're talking about. And
All his fault.
and then she's like, "Oh, by the way, you weren't supposed to leave your room, so I'm gonna kick your ass."
Anyways,
Yeah.
Even though you've been traumatized about what you saw through the keyhole,
right?
Let alone
And then
traumatized.
the reason you're out of your room is because the other nun came in and said you could leave.
Yeah. Never mind that. The nun tries to stand up for him, but not for much. She's just like,
I don't think she. I think she's pretty terrified of Mother Superior as well.
Is Jar Jar frozen
Kevin.
to you, Kevin?
No, you didn't. I'm right here.
Did we lose
Kevin's
me?
there.
You're
But
frozen.
Jar Jar's frozen. Superman. Sexy Santa Superman is frozen.
Oh well, he'll come back. So yeah, it goes through like that whole time in his youth in the orphanage, and it cuts to, was it 10 years later?
10 years later, yeah.
And it's he's looking for a job for him. You go to a toy store, which is the first place I would have gone if I was looking for a job. And you know, it's actually, I used to work at a Toys R Us, a toy store.
You did?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Was it so fun?
It was a pretty good time.
Were you a cashier or a stock boy?
I used to build bikes, and I used to I also used to build like the Hot Wheels and stuff, like not the Hot Wheels, the Power Wheels. And yeah, and then during the Christmas season, I was a Nintendo representative. This is back when it was Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and I would talk everyone out of buying a Sega Genesis so they could buy a Super Nintendo.
Is that because Toys R Us only sold the Nintendo?
No, they sold both. I was more of a fan of Super Nintendo than Sega Genesis. So I'm like, what kind of games do you like? You like sports games? They're like, not really. I'm like, then you want to go with the Super Nintendo.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Got it.
If you like sports games, the Sega Genesis is where it's at. If you want like adventure, side-scrolling fun, you want to go with Super Nintendo. So we're just talking about how I worked at a toy store, just like he did. He froze. Oh, he's frozen.
We finished talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night. We're going on to the next.
Yeah.
I totally did.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm
telling you, my internet tonight is saying, hey, fuck you.
Yeah. By the way, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we got to the point where he's out looking for a job, or they're out looking for a job for him.
Like, goddamn luckiest job in the world.
Right?
I know.
I'm just like, nobody got me that job. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like...
I was telling her that I used to work at the Toys R Us in Auburn way back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I used to love that place.
I used to build all the bikes and build all the Power Wheels and stuff.
We probably never met each other.
Probably not. I used to find dirty diapers in the Power Wheels. Isn't that great?
Oh, that was my fault, sorry.
Yeah. Did you notice? I don't know if you know. I figured you probably were looking at the
Jabba the Hutt. Yeah.
Jabba the...
No, I was talking about, there was a, it looked like it was almost like a backpack, like kind of storage case, but it was He-Man, and he was...
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the Masters of the Universe. I was like, I was also noticing how they still had the Halloween costumes out at Christmas time.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Maybe discount or something.
Yeah.
I totally remember buying those costumes as a kid.
Oh, absolutely. Those were my costumes.
I did want to go back through those scenes to just look at what was on the what toys were on the shelves, but
I wish I could have seen prices, because God, that kind of nostalgia brings you back. I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, Star Wars stuff, and there's He-Man stuff, and there's all sorts of
even to the point where he put like a Daffy Duck stuffed animal in like a truck or something, and I'm like, I had that Daffy Duck. What happened?
I have, well, it's upstairs. I should have brought it down. I have an amazing Star Wars lunchbox that I used in elementary school. Were there, I saw the Jabba the Hutts. Were there some of the Star Wars lunchboxes on the shelf, or was I just seeing?
I didn't notice myself. No, I don't know.
The thing is, Nar, if you go back to just look at the shelves, you have to watch the whole movie again.
Yeah.
That's true. I loved seeing, well, I think I wrote some of the toys down when I read my notes later, but password, catchword.
What was the job of the guy he was supposed to be like working with or under. I don't know. The guy in the back.
He was just like the guy who ran the back room.
Huh.
The guy on his first day, he's like 18 years old or whatever. The guy on his first day, he offered him like some booze in the back. Yeah. But actually, I think wasn't the back then. I think the drinking age was lower.
Yeah, it probably was
lower. Yeah.
Or just gone up or something around that time.
But yeah, so it goes into that. He's doing great. People like him a lot at the job. He's causing no problems. And then what happens?
Ugh.
They need a Santa.
Forced to be Santa.
The guy who played Santa broke his ankle. I almost said skateboarding, ice skating, and so now he has to be Santa, and he doesn't look happy about it, but he agrees to do it.
He's like, I'm sitting there. Why are you doing this to yourself?
I would have just been like, my family was murdered by a guy in a Santa Claus costume. I can't do that.
Yeah, I think that would have been an easy out.
Yeah, I agree. He just needed to speak up.
And do you think he was just frozen? Didn't know how? Well, obviously didn't know how to speak up for himself, he never learned how to.
Right.
Well, he did advocate for himself as a young
boy. When he did at the orphanage, he would get
and like punished.
You know,
if he did right.
So maybe it was that coming back in. I'm sure the punishments that he was getting over the years that he was there didn't help the situation at all.
No.
It seemed like the only time he was acting up was during Christmas. So it's like, this is the only time you're going to get whooped, kid. Crazy. But
he took it to a whole new level.
He did. And there's actually like really good, like really like high, like detailed action figures of him dressed as Santa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. With the like, just his full face exposed and everything. And
that's cool.
Like the chimney with the arm hanging out of it and everything. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Anyways, they made a remake of this movie as well.
Yeah,
they made a remake, and my friend Courtney Palm is in that. And I believe she's the one who's hung up on the antlers in the remake.
Oh.
Do you see her tatas?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
She's a delight.
I'm telling you, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the reason I did a horror show. I was like, I'm going to see tons of titties. I got to see no titties until now.
Well, there's other ones that are out there. But, you can see Linnaeus again if we do,
Fantastic.
Yeah. So from there, he's working with the kids. Things seems to be going all right.
Yeah.
And he snaps. Like, what makes him snap?
He was talking to the little girl a little bit rough, if you want to say things are going well with them. He's just
like, you're being bad.
I will punish you.
You're going to get punished. I'm going to punish you. Like, oh, he's so great with kids.
Yeah, right?
And the store owner, the mothers think he's so good with kids.
Yeah.
That's how parents were back then, though.
Oh, yeah.
They'd just be like, oh, look.
Not screaming
the
at
local pedo. Yeah, the local pedo is okay.
Cool.
He's making my daughter not afraid of Santa anymore.
I'm not afraid. Now she's just terrified.
Yeah.
So and he snaps after stores closing, and it's Christmas Eve, so the store closed.
He's watching what's her name, the girl that he likes, and
and the backroom guy.
Yeah.
Like, she's basically getting sexually assaulted by him.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, not basically. She is.
Yeah.
I said basically. She was. Yeah.
Yeah. But weirdly, she was pretty much getting that throughout the whole movie. Not the whole movie, but like anytime they were in a scene together, he was pretty creepy all over it.
Yeah.
Like that would not fly in today's work.
I just had a meeting about that today. We just had our annual meeting about sexual harassment today.
Harassment, nothing to me.
Phones, hooray!
Why did he? Because I thought he liked her. Bad Santa.
Yeah, he had that fantasy of her, right?
And then, do you think he killed her because she called him a bastard and you're crazy? like after he shot,
Maybe, but she
after he strangled him with the Christmas lights.
Talk about the strength too. That dude lifted a guy up off the floor with just a.
Do you think if she? I'd like to think that if she'd been like, "Oh, thank you, Billy," that he wouldn't have shot her.
Well, I don't know, because before the whole assault happened, weren't they kind of making out?
Sort of,
yes,
yeah.
In the shopping.
When he saw that, he was just like, "What the fuck is
She
this?"
needs to be punished.
Yeah, she's being naughty.
Well, because also I felt like she showed Billy interest in him.
Right.
I felt so. Then when she went with the jerk guy,
slighted
during the party, that was a huge slight. So yeah, he would have had it out for her. Yeah.
So he just goes along and just murders all these people in the toy store, and I like how he just is hunting people.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's perfect.
I don't like it. You know what I mean? I liked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't like that if it happened in real life.
No.
In the movie, it's just like, all right, this is a psychopath who's on a rampage. This is probably what would have happened, you know?
No, it's a good, 15-20 minute killing spree inside the store. It's like, yes, everyone's getting it.
I didn't like that Mr. Sims wasn't naughty. I mean, he had alcohol, but he hired Billy, so I thought he would spare Mr. Sims.
Oh, he got it right to the head.
I don't know. I mean, maybe because he just lost it. Maybe he just snapped. Maybe it's because, all right, he's the guy who made me dress up this way. Maybe it was that kind of thing, or maybe it was just like, you know, you couldn't wait for this day to be done, so you could just get drunk with everyone. Like you're not a good person, kind of
right, and that's naughty.
Yeah, and it was what was it? Was it Ira's Toys?
Ira's
toy store.
But Ira was the name of one of the producers.
So
they named it after one of the producers.
Okay.
That's a little bit of trivia.
I love it.
Yeah. Do you have any notes up until this point?
Me? Okay. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, I wrote down 1984, so that was fun. Knowing that it was released in 84. I can't remember I wrote my very first thing was "You have ruined me." I can't remember who said that.
Was it us? Did we ruin you?
Wait, what?
Did we ruin you because we made you watch this movie?
Yeah, we might have ruined you.
Yes, that was to you all. Yes, that's to you all.
That's our Christmas gift to you. You're ruined.
You have ruined me, Jar Jar and Kevin. Yes, so that is you all. The very opening with the little girl kind of lullaby voice during the opening credits with the music was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Christmas 71. Thank you, another movie. So that everyone knows, our other episode will be The Hills Have Eyes. So thank you for giving me 2 back-to-back movies with a baby, an innocent baby. I wrote Christmas Eve book. Oh, was Billy in the car talking about a Christmas Eve book when he was in the back seat?
I don't remember talking about a book.
No. Okay.
I remember he was talking about something though. Maybe it's something that he read in the book.
That he read in the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Christmas Eve that day. So
It was, yeah.
So,
okay. And then I thought the opening shot actually did remind me, kind of had the similar light brown color of The Hills Have Eyes. So I thought that was interesting. And then
I was on the whole Christmas vacation. I was like, oh, look, it's National Lampoon's.
That's right.
Yeah. They're driving a tank.
When it said Utah Mental Facility, I wrote, and I'll print in parentheses, oh, great. Okay.
Nothing but good stuff ever happens in a mental institution, right?
Yeah, no.
Happens there.
Yeah.
It does. Some people get better.
That's
not in the 80s, though.
Oh, no. Not in the 80s, no.
Mm-mm.
There's a documentary I should have you both watch.
Okay. Now let me see. my notes. Okay.
What do you got?
Okay. Oh Lord.
You got pages there, Nar.
Chapter 1.
I thought. Okay. Oh, I thought his mom sounded kind. Well, I love Dee Wallace, and since we watched The Hills Have Eyes, or since I watched The Hills Have Eyes tonight, I thought Billy's mom sounded a little bit like Dee Wallace's sister, kind of the same voice quality.
Oh, in The Hills Have Eyes, the Suze Lanier?
No, I thought Billy's mom in the front seat of Silent Night, Deadly Night, his mom, I thought sounded a little bit like Dee Wallace.
Oh,
that's only because I watched both movies back to back.
How did Mrs. Quigley get it in Silent Night, Deadly Night? I'm forgetting the
mom slash. Well,
no, not the mom. The old lady at the store. I'm totally blank. Oh, never mind. She got an arrow to the back.
Yeah, she was trying to get out. She picked up the axe and she was going to smash out a window, and then she got the arrow in the back.
Yeah.
I wrote, "Why leave boy alone with?" Oh yeah. Okay. Why leave Billy alone with psycho grandpa? Like normally, I thought that would, even though they thought he was catatonic, I thought that's a little strange to leave.
I thought that was normal behavior of parents back then. I was just like, yep, I could see my parents leaving me with.
I can tell you right now, as a child, we would go visit my Aunt Jean, and her husband John was pretty much like barely would talk, whatever, and he would just like look at people, whatever. And they were like, okay, we're gonna have food, whatever. Go in there and watch TV with Uncle John, and like,
hey,
yeah.
I thought that shot of him just staring at the grandpa until he shot his eyes towards the grandpa, just that wide shot was creepy before the grandpa. Like, this was a small little thing, but when the boy ran out to catch up with his parents exiting the mental facility, he kind of, as he ran, it was just a cute little run that the actor Billy did as he was running after his parents. It was just a cute little moment of how he.
Like Kermit the Frog. It
was kind of like he was trying to catch up with them, but his arms came. It was just cute. Okay. His big brown eyes while he's listening to Grandpa. I already said that.
Why doesn't he say anything about Grandpa coming to life too? At first, I would have been like, "Hey, dude's like faking it."
Dude's faking
it. Asshole just talked to me. It was horrible.
Horrible.
He belongs here.
And then I thought, okay, the bullet to the forehead.
Oh yeah,
and then it leaking out.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool. Well, I didn't think it was a cool effect because you all have ruined me, but that was.
It was done well.
Yeah, it was done well.
The only thing that I hated about that is that he got shot once, and then he got shot a second time, and his tongue literally was like, and then like he fell to the ground, and his tongue was still like, So when he got shot in the head, his tongue was still hanging out. I'm like, come on, dude.
I liked it that they did put the baby in blue. So then, I mean, I know you couldn't assume gender now, but it made me think, that must be a little brother.
Yep.
I liked the old timey store, like or the gas station, the old timey signs on the outside of the little gas station.
Windows in the toy store, like how they were all like painted, but they weren't even painted like that good. It reminds me of the old crappy toy stores in our day.
Exactly. I remember going to those toy stores and being like, wow.
Capital Toy? Remember Capital Toy?
No.
Oh, you're missing out. That was a Worcester staple for a long time.
Capital Toy.
Had a giant scary clown on the outside of the building.
No kidding.
It painted on the outside of the building. They had a filled up like above ground swimming pool in the middle of the store. Like it was year round. It was there. Yeah, people used to just jump in it and like get kicked out of the store and stuff like that. But I don't know. It was fun as a kid.
were they playing? I wrote, "Do you see what I see?" That song must have been playing.
Do you hear what I hear?
During one of the scenes, or maybe
it was like a weird version of a song.
Yeah,
it was playing, and I was like, "This is like a funky, like almost like disco version of a song." And I kind of want to get the soundtrack just so I can hear the whole song.
Yeah. It must have been after the tit shot of the mother.
I was gonna say, it was in that. It was definitely in that house. It was when he was like going up the stairs or something. It was,
yeah, and it was creepy.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like, I loved the actor Billy in the orphanage, but he very obviously had blue eyes, and Billy had brown eyes.
Good job, Nar.
So that thank you.
I love pointing out movie continuity screws up.
But I did love that boy actor. I thought the nice nun looked like Anne Bancroft. I liked her. Well, and the evil nun, both nuns were really good. And it looked like on the Mother Superior's desk, she had those religious figures, and you just see the back of them, and it looked like Jesus's robe was kind of, I know it wasn't bloody, but it kind of had a pinkish rose-colored tint to the back of his robe. I thought his white snow boots were hilarious.
I did.
Oh yeah,
I was like, white snow boots.
Is he wearing cowboy boots or something? Like, what were those?
The white plastic boots.
It just immediately would get filled with slush.
Oh yeah,
immediately, because they're always way too big.
Yeah. I discovering that his baby brother survived was very exciting for me.
Yeah, that was like, oh, okay.
Seeing in his bedroom the Yogi Bear.
I was looking at the toys too. I'm like, hey.
And the Jack in the Box.
That reminded me of Willie Whistle. Do you remember Willie Whistle, Jar?
No.
God damn it! I'm not that much older than you. Come on.
I know. What's Willie Whistle from?
He was a clown that was on TV, and he would whistle when he talked. He was
I know Bozo the Clown. I used to watch.
It's different. I'll send
you. Did he whistle from his willy?
No. He would have his willy out.
Willy.
Like, he had like a whistle thing under his tongue, so he never said words. He was just as he talked, it was just a whistle that was coming out. But he kind of looked like the clown that was on that Jack in the Box. Anyways,
I had that Jack in the Box growing up.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me. I wrote more notes, but tell me when you want me. Do you want me to keep going with my notes?
So he's gone through the massacre in the toy store.
Yes.
Where does he go after that?
He goes to the house, right? He goes directly to that house where we see the cat.
The little cat with the jingle bells.
And another boyfriend. Like, God, I'm so glad the styles of the 80s never caught on. Like, dude's wearing a crop top, old sweater that was like cut up and stuff. I'm just like, oh, that's horrible.
Oh, and I did think that older actor looked more like his younger self. The older Billy was back to the brown eyes, so I thought he looked in keeping with the little Billy. I just wanted to jump back to the orphanage for 1 second when he would run into the corner and say punished, and when she tied him up to the bed, I just was so horrible.
I was sitting there looking at his wrists. I'm like, hold on, he could get out of those.
I was too.
Come on.
When he was all huddled in the corner, I'm like, he's wearing wallabies. Like he was wearing. I'm like, those are wallabies.
I want a pair of those. I remember those.
That's what Bruce Campbell wore in Evil Dead.
Oh,
he's wearing wallabies.
Oh, and that's what they're called?
Yeah.
I never.
I think they're Clarks. The brand is Clarks, and the style is wallabies. Or wallaby. Yeah. I like shoes. I don't know if you know this, but I like shoes.
I do know that a little
And
bit.
Kevin, did you have a pair of those?
No, I have some there's always some in my shopping cart on Amazon.com.
I want to get
one of these years I'll order them.
What's holding you back?
I have a lot of shoes, and in order for me to get new ones, I have to get rid of old ones.
See, I have 2 pairs of shoes. Well, maybe 3 because my boots also. I have a kick around pair of shoes that aren't completely torn apart, and then my boots.
I got in the teens of shoes.
Damn.
Yeah, I just bought a second pair of boots. They're Doc Martens, but I have a pair of Red Wing boots that are like $300, and I'm never gonna get rid of them because you can wear it, you can keep them forever. The Doc Marten ones are just easy to take off and put on. So if I need to get out of the house real quick, whatever, or just run out of the house, they're easy to just slip on. But
what are Red Wing boots?
It's a brand. They're made out of in Minnesota. It's
Minnesota.
Out of Minnesota. Yeah, they're made in Minnesota, and they're handmade
very good
in America. So it's like one of those things like the way that they're built, you can just send them back to them, and they'll like basically for like $100, they'll resole them. They'll like redo everything in it.
Wow.
Back to you. Yeah.
Wow. Look at that. Maybe we could get them to sponsor.
No. Oh no.
No.
That will not happen. But yeah, I forgot. We totally just went off on another rant.
Oh yes.
Oh, I did see in the toy store Smurfs.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I collected. They were $1. We have the greatest little store by my parents' house called the Variety Store, and my poor mother, every time we would go, which was all the time, they sold the little Smurf figurines at that time for $1, which I thought was very expensive.
Oh.
And I would beg my mom. I would be like, "Can I, if I'm a good little girl, can I have a?" Well, I'd have a candy bar, and then could I get a Smurf? So by the end, I had a large Smurf collection.
Nice.
Actually,
I made a Smurf joke earlier when you said that your comedy was blue. I was like, you just made jokes about Smurfs.
That's true. Now, I wrote down Harry ass in the love scene. Who had
that was the guy, the one at the orphanage.
Yeah, that was not attractive.
Looked like he sat on the floor of a barbershop.
Yeah.
In that hot weather. On the floor in a barbershop.
I thought that I would love, as I get older, to play the store worker lady, the older lady. I thought she was hilarious.
It's an old curmudgeon-y lady.
Yeah, I thought she, in her voice, I did think, and I'm not trying to bring up Tony, but I managed to bring him up every show, not on purpose. But I did think Toy Store Billy, grown-up Billy, reminded me of young Tony Moran. Just looks wise.
With the hair.
Yeah, with the hair and everything. Yeah.
I can see that.
That's what
I actually just brought him up the other day on my show. Because I was describing our show, this show. So I always like say I'm part of the re-education of Nancy Ann Ritter. Then I go through and I'm like, that's a show where myself and my friend Jeremy, we go through and we talk to Nancy Ann Ritter and we do all this stuff. And I'm like, Nancy Ann Ritter being from the movie Scream, and she's dating Tony Moran. So she's involved in the horror community. She just doesn't know that much about it. So we're just showing her what's up, So I do that with all the guests that are still there. So that way they can know about it too. And that way they can hear your names.
Oh, thank you. And we've been together almost 16 months, and we're going to spend our first Christmas together.
Ooh. How's that feel? Are you excited?
I'm excited, and with our little kitten Pumpkin, I just sewed a little.
Oh, you guys got a baby?
We've got a baby. We have a baby kitten named Pumpkin, and my mom sewed. We have a little stocking, and she sewed the letter capital P on the stocking. So I fly there December 18th. So that's why thank you so much for doing these back
and I figured this would be great to put this one out right before Christmas.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say one. I loved his, and then I'll be quiet. I love
Don't be quiet.
The cute girl's dimples. His co-workers' dimples at the store. We have a lot of nutcrackers at home here, but it was all of the shots of the nutcrackers in the toy store were very creepy. that creepy fake Santa that they kept showing in the toy store with the white beard. And then I don't know
those everywhere when I was a kid.
And they're creepy. And I don't know if you noticed the Nutcracker's mouth towards the end of the toy store scene were all open.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
My wife got me a Frankenstein Nutcracker because I like Frankenstein.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I had Frankenstein Nutcracker.
Because Nutcrackers don't sit open.
Right.
No.
But, so I thought that was a cool detail. Why do they make... Okay, should I stop until you tell me to start talking again?
Well, what do you have?
Okay. Why do they make so many... Well, I understand this is a good one to have a sequel because of the younger brother.
Yeah, they left it where they could.
Yeah, perfect.
You know that there was way more of them, though.
Yeah, why do... I mean, I understand why they keep making them because they make money.
Right.
I get... I mean, and of course they want them to keep making Scream. Because then maybe they'll bring it.
From what the internet says, the other ones have nothing to do with the story from the first two. Like it's
okay.
And there's so this movie was boycotted and removed from the theaters.
Really?
This first one?
Yeah. This movie was released the same day as Nightmare on Elm Street, and it outdid Nightmare on Elm Street in the theaters for that first week. It made more money, and then they started protesting it because making Santa a killer, all this other stuff, and in the commercials you saw Santa with a bloody axe, like that. So they removed it from theaters. They lost like a lot of. They had to buy back their distribution rights and everything. Yeah, and it's ridiculous, but I don't know. People are crazy. But one of the people that spoke very like negatively about it was what's his face? He was a little short dude that used to be in all those. When he was a kid, he was in a ton of movies.
Mickey Rooney.
Yep, Mickey Rooney's in the fifth one. He's in
no way.
The sequel number 5 of this one, but he was one of the big protesters against it.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. And then he allowed himself to be cast in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Turncoat.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. But yeah, it's crazy.
I thought the little boy, and then I really will be quiet. I thought the little brother with the big brown eyes looked like little Billy did. I thought it was great casting. The little brother, just how he looked in the orphanage, and then the last shot of him.
He looked so pissed.
Yeah. At one point, it made me laugh when the nice nun, when the police chief said, "Come on," and they were leaving the police station to run to the orphanage, and she had a purse. I've never seen a nun with a purse. I thought that was funny.
That's some kind of fanny pack that would be under their habit or whatever.
Right.
Is that the habit, or is that the habit is just the headpiece?
I think
the robe and would it be the robe here?
Oh, it's a whole thing.
And then the habit, just this thing, or is it the whole Jar Jar?
I don't know.
I went to church when I was a kid, but it wasn't that kind of church.
Me either.
Trust Jar Jar.
I did the same kind of. I was just Christian.
I was a Presbyterian. I was Catholic light. I was Catholic with half the guilt.
Catholic light. I'm Catholic with all the guilt.
Yeah.
All the guilt.
There was a band in Boston for years called Big Catholic Guilt, and they were like a really good industrial band, kind of like Ministry. They were really good.
Oh, I love it.
It is the whole thing. A long, loose garment worn by a member of a religious order or congregation. Nuns in long brown habits.
Jonathan, thank you for schooling me. I'll finish these just so you know that I'm a good pupil. The tan SUV that they drive in, or the cop drives.
Yeah, with all there was so many antennas on that thing.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, there's antennas everywhere.
The tan SUV reminded me of the tan SUV that David Arquette drives in Scream. It did make me laugh listening to the Christmas carols that they use in the movie now have such a creep. When I do really listen to them, some of them really are creepy if you think about it. And the whole naughty or nice thing, like, it does lend itself this holiday.
Better not shout. You better not
Yes.
cry. I'm gonna fucking give you nothing.
Yeah, it does really lend itself to be made into a horror movie when you think about it.
I did just this past weekend. I watched some newer Christmas horror movies, and one of them is It's a Wonderful Knife, and it's a horror version of It's the Wonderful Life, starring what's his face? I'm forgetting everyone's name. It just came out like a year ago, but it's the guy who was the Apple guy for a long time in the commercials.
The Apple guy.
Justin Long.
Justin Long, and the guy that was in Community. Then he used to host on E. He used to host The Soup.
Joel McHale.
Yep. They were the two stars.
Nara's good at this game.
Yeah. I'm good at pop culture. Yeah. I'm not very smart in everything else.
But yeah, they were both in it. They were both in it, and it wasn't bad. And then I also watched Christmas Bloody Christmas, which was also very fun.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool Christmas stuff out there. There's anthology stuff. Krampus.
I was pleasantly surprised, but did not think it was a horror by any standards. Violent Night.
I haven't watched it. I don't. The guy in Violent Night though. He's the guy from Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
He's like
he's something.
I don't. Harbor.
I'm not a fan of his.
Oh no.
No, because he's like abusive towards animals.
What?
In real life?
Yeah.
I had not heard this.
What does he do?
Like on set and stuff like that. Like towards a dog or something like that. All I heard was that he was abusive towards an animal, and
that can be enough to
like that. And I'm like, I'm done with this guy.
Done with that guy.
Yeah, I don't care how good of an actor he is. Go fuck yourself. Animals are innocent. Okay.
Very much so.
Yeah, but anyways,
we get to the house.
Yeah, they get to the house.
Now,
here's one thing too. When they get to the house, is this the one where there's carolers outside?
Yes.
There was one girl who was really into it. Did you notice that? There was one girl, yeah, like as she's singing, she was so into it, and everyone else was like, da 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 da. She's like, yeah, jazz hands.
This is gonna be the one for me, guys.
Yeah, this is my big break. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be on Entertainment Tonight. I don't even know if that was a thing back then, but
probably.
I think so.
And Tish.
Oh, that's right. Mary Hart.
Yep. But yeah, I just thought it was funny how into it she was. Like she was.
I'm gonna have to go look back.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't bad. They were good singers and everything. But yeah, all this murder's happening right behind them. They don't even know.
Not a clue at all.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, as a little kid, when they're like downstairs fooling around and the little kid starts to walk down the stairs and she's just like, don't come down here. I would have been down there in a heartbeat. I would have been like, what's going on?
Why not Linnea Quigley? It's because your boobies are out. But yeah, Linnea, this is where we see the lovely Linnea Quigley. And yeah, she's a great person, and I highly recommend meeting her at a con if you have a chance. Go get an autograph from her because she does a lot, like with her own money, for animal charities and stuff.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so we had her on the show once, and her house was like full of dogs. So I was like, she's like, oh, I'm fostering all these dogs. I'm sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry. That's amazing. Like, don't be sorry at all. And you know, she's just really nice, and I respect anyone who can do that. And she's A-okay in my book just because of that. Plus, he had her boobies out on in this movie, and then she gets the old heave ho into the deer head.
Yeah, Billy didn't care about those boobies at all.
And I wanted to say her underwear was like the perfect little 80s panties.
Yeah.
They were sexy, but I remember I never wore them, but because I wore silky.
Oh,
silky
you and me both.
But But that
Should have
little
seen my panties back in the day.
They were underoos.
Little He-Man on them and everything.
I did have red and yellow underoos. I think Wonder Woman underoos.
Yeah, I never liked Superman ever in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I was always a Batman person, so I had Batman underoos.
I didn't like the way they felt. I think I only wanted
They were very cheap feeling. They hurt.
Yes.
Yeah, they weren't comfortable. They're just like, hey, we're going to throw a character on here and charge you $1 billion for them. I'm like, I want those. I want my.
You got the shirt with them too. Sometimes you got the good collection.
Yeah.
At least my He-Mans did.
Yeah.
He-Mans, you got your cool shirt with them.
Cool.
I don't remember how they felt, so I can't attest.
I didn't like it, but I loved her sexy little jean shorts when she put those. Yeah. I wrote Dreary Snowman. Oh, when he came. Well, I jumped forward. But I'll stop at the.
Yeah. So he breaks into this house and he shows them what for. I tells you.
What drew his attention to them? I can't even remember.
I don't remember.
Like they're just having fun.
Nice smell. And cute underwear. I don't know.
Works for me.
I always got the sense that when you see him exit the toy store, that he was just ready to go house to house to house.
Yeah, wherever.
Was what I
thought we might get a car scene like his parents got too. But, that didn't happen though.
Oh yeah, it looked like it was almost going to happen, and it just didn't. But yeah, so he takes care of Linnea, and he takes care of
the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, he got it pretty bad, thrown through the glass window.
Yeah, when he landed, he had a big shard of glass sticking out of his stomach.
Out of his stomach and his face.
I was hoping he'd still be alive, and his blonde feathered hair reminded me of Johnny from Karate.
That's all I could think of too. I was like, sweep the leg, Johnny, sweep the leg.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
I did want to say that little girl in the scene with Santa when she comes out, that little robe that she wore, that was the perfect little Christmas robe that went, stopped right above the floor, but you don't see her little feet. And just her sweet little innocent face, and then how he gave her a box cutter. It looked like it had
a little blood on it.
She's like, thanks. Imagine she's like, what? This is what I get. And she's naughty. Then he's just like, all right, now I get to use it on you. But at least, she was good, so she didn't get hurt.
I'm always amazed when I see kids in these kind of horror flicks, because I don't know, as a parent, I mean, I'm sure like money changes a little bit of the inspiration, but I'm like sitting there, I'm like, I don't know.
But also too, and I'm sure Mark can speak to this. It's not as tense on set as it is in the movie.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It's just like there's a room full of people there. Be like, okay, he's gonna hand you this thing. Just act weirded out. Like it was probably nothing like that. And I'm sure like she probably didn't see the movie, until much later.
Oh, I hope not.
Maybe just a scene or something. But yeah, it's always amazed me as well. I'm like, wow, they can't believe you let that. And like he didn't.
Oh, the baby and like the baby screaming. I'm just like, that poor baby. Somebody save it.
How they made the baby scream too was even worse.
Right.
Pushing in the soft spot. I'm just kidding.
I only just found out about the soft spot.
What? I've had a joke for years talking about walking up and just pushing it like the Pop-O-Matic bubble in the game Trouble. So he's like, and the kid's like, and then you just push it again and the kid's fine. Changes his accent.
I only just learned about it from my parents.
Really?
Yes. The soft spot. I mean, I guess I could.
But it's very. So when the baby's coming out of the birth canal, because the skull.
The skull can. When a baby comes out, its head's kind of pointed. So it kind of collapsed back into place, and there's a spot that
the more you know.
And isn't it very it's fragile?
Yeah, very fragile.
Mhm.
That's why it's funny to make jokes about it.
Yes.
I could never.
Hopefully my sisters don't hear this.
I have OCD. I would have been totally too terrified if I had had a baby. I wouldn't have been able.
Look,
they bounce pretty good too.
Yeah,
They bounce really well.
they're pretty
Don't
light.
worry.
They don't get really that hurt.
That's why you got to have more than one so you can practice a lot.
Yeah, just think about how hurt you got when you were a kid. I got
Mm.
friggin' murdered all the time. Like I would always go above and beyond. I'd have like scrapes all the way up and down my legs from riding
dude.
skidding out and like flying down the street with short shorts on.
We used to open up the fire extinguishers. Yeah, no, the fire out on the streets. What are they
Fire
called?
hydrant.
Fire hydrant. Yeah,
Oh.
we used to open those up, and dude, you can get the water pressure in those up really high. They launch you down the street. It's crazy.
How did you open it? How did you have it straight? Is it easy?
There was tons of us. There was older kids and everything, so they just would. You open up the sides, and then the top is how you control how much pressure comes out. And if you open it up enough, we would open it up all the way, and you just jump into the center of it, and it would launch you down the street. It was crazy.
And then one of the neighbors down the street's house is on fire. You're like, sorry, we're having
Way too much fun.
sucks to be you. Wow. You're flying down the side.
Oh, I remember tearing up my legs one time because I was playing like that, and just it was nasty.
Well, I still have scars from when I was a child. Still. But yeah, anyways. So after all this shenanigans, so then they're out looking for Santa Claus.
Yeah. They kill a Santa.
Yeah, one of these he's driving by and the cop sees a Santa walking up a ladder into a house. He's like, all right, I'm gonna barge in and murder this person in front of his daughter. Daddy. It was pretty rough. Like, at least don't just kill him. Like, just, ask him a question.
What's your name? Who do you work for?
Who does number 2 work for? But yeah, so they weren't exactly the most, capable police department. It seemed like
Santa Claus lives matter. I can see the riots.
There was two murdered Santa Clauses that were innocent.
Yeah,
he's a priest,
right? Oh, I forgot about that. Oh yeah,
who was hearing impaired.
Yeah, because he's deaf.
We told him to turn around, so he's deaf. Oh.
I thought for sure he was gonna come because I thought it was Billy. I thought for sure he was gonna come back to life because all the padding that Billy would have been wearing as Santa, but then we find out it's the priest.
Yeah. One thing I thought was also hilarious. We're just cutting around. So at this point now they realize he's going back to the orphanage to seek vengeance. There's one cop who shows up, murders a priest, and then he's just like, all right, well, I'm going to patrol the yard, I guess.
I have to say, the portrayal of the times was done very well.
Yeah, people just didn't care. You just murdered our priest. So anyways, kids, let's do this story and sing some songs.
Sing some songs.
So here's the deal. The cop is there. You're in a locked building. I'm just going to leave and just walk around and just jump around corners pointing my gun at things. Like,
at that point,
you have a weapon. If he comes through, you have a weapon. Like, I don't know. Which makes sense to me. Would have been a much shorter movie, I think. But yeah,
they did well though. I think overall, like for what was it, 76 minutes,
something like that.
Yes.
They there was a cut. So the one I watched ended up being a little bit longer. It's probably the one you watched as well, Jeremy. I don't know, but where did you end up watching it?
On your Plex.
Did you watch it on my Plex, Nar?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to train me off camera
Okay.
how to do your Plex. You sent it to me long ago, but because I'm really dumb, so I watched it on Amazon.
Don't worry, it took me a while to figure it out too.
So there's, I don't know if you guys noticed during the movie, there's a few scenes that look like way like worse quality than the rest of the movie. Like it kind of got darker and stuff like that. Those were scenes that were actually cut out originally that they ended up being able to restore. And, Fangoria Films re-released it on Blu-ray and got all that stuff added back in. But yeah, there's I think his character is responsible for 19 deaths in that short amount of a movie.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
See, I'm sorry, that's a good horror movie to me. Like, to me, there should be a lot of death, a lot of blood.
And some boobies.
And
like,
some tatas.
As soon as you bring out the boobies, I could probably lower my expectations on blood and deaths. But, like...
Am I allowed to do this on YouTube?
I think so.
I think I could do it on YouTube, too. I'm not going to do it because I'm just going to embarrass myself.
Getting there.
What are you, like 102 pounds soaking wet?
Soaking wet, yeah.
Yeah. I'm multiple of you.
I'm when I'm dry.
So the cop is there poking around, trying to find old Saint Nick, I guess. And he sees that there's this door that's moving. He goes down to check out the boiler room.
Yeah.
And as he's walking back up, there he is. Good old axe to the chest, I think. Right?
Yeah, right into this either chest or stomach, like right as he came through the door, just boom.
Yep.
I was so mad he went down there. I was so mad that the cop went.
Right? Like nobody goes down there.
Not by yourself.
Down there, no, you wait for backup. You're like, hold on, I'll wait until
they're on the way. You know they're on the way. Just stand by the door. But I guess maybe in his mind, maybe there was a way to get into the house, like through some tunnel down there.
Maybe.
That's why he was checking it out. I would have just ran back to the house. What's over there? Is he get in here? All right, well, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be over there. And then go back. But I don't know. And then, he's Santa. So he goes to the door and he's waving at these little kids. And
little Andrew goes and opens the door.
Yeah. And there he comes. Hey, I'm gonna murder mother.
Yeah, those kids don't seem to get affected by much. They're just
they were good little actors, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. And he's going to kill Mother Superior there. And
he's about to get his final revenge.
And then bang bang. He's on the ground.
And do you think Do you think Mother Superior must have known that was grown-up Billy?
Yeah.
Come back.
Oh yeah. I at that point hadn't the cops
warned?
Well, the thing is too is that because it seems because he was old enough and stuff, like he was already out of there, but they were helping him get a job and everything when he turned old enough. So it's like I'm sure that word was out. I'm sure she remembered what he looked like because it wasn't that long ago that he left, probably.
And she said to his little brother, when the little brother went to turn on the music, she said, "Oh, you're much better little boy than your older brother was." Remember when he went to turn the record player on or whatever so that they could sing Deck the Halls?
I would have just started scratching. No, but now. Now, Mother.
What do you think now? I like
rebel.
Yeah.
Before he got to the front door, I loved when he axed off the head of this dreary-looking snowman.
Yeah.
Does she ask? Someone asks, "Were you good for Mom and Dad?" I don't know who said that, or maybe he.
Oh, is that when Billy was talking to the little girl?
Well, must have been. The song Santa's Watching, whatever the song was at the end, Santa's Watching.
I was actually listening to that. I was like,
is creepy.
It is. So I have. So that's the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it goes by fairly quickly. There's a little bit of trivia. I mean, I've already brought up some, but considering that this movie has got the gore that affected you so much, you may find it interesting that the director doesn't like gore. So he didn't direct any of the kill scenes because he couldn't do it.
Really?
So the editor of the movie directed all of the kill scenes because the
So
director
cool.
being uncomfortable with handling the gore heavy parts of the film. Yeah,
That's interesting. I would have been like, but it's my movie.
yeah. And the group of people that were protesting the movie, they were called the Citizens Against Movie Madness.
Citizens Against Cam. Yeah.
Cam.
I was hoping that it had a funny name once it all got put together, but no, Cam.
It's interesting. What month was it released alongside Nightmare on Elm Street? Does it say?
Says release. It doesn't say there. Let me look down the bottom. Oh, and just real quick, they did a whole hour about this movie on Phil Donahue.
Oh, the release date is November 9th.
Oh yeah, November 9th of 84.
So
they did a whole hour on Donahue?
Yeah. Phil Donahue dedicated an entire hour of his TV show to the controversy surrounding this film.
Wow. That is wild.
And the axe that gets embedded in the wall, Linnea Quigley, Linnea Quigley was a real axe. To protest, film critic Gene Siskel read out loud the names of the companies that owned this distributor TriStar Pictures on his and Roger Ebert's television show. They said, "Shame on you." He also called out the writer, director, and producer. Said, "You people have nothing to be proud of."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I love name
all
dropping.
over a movie.
Yeah, over a movie that's a little over an hour.
It probably wouldn't have caused any controversy had they just let it go.
Shut up. Yeah, because it's not like little kids going to be getting into the movie. Like
no.
You end up what those people like Jar Jar. What you said, those protesters don't realize they end up getting more eyes, getting more audience members to go to the movie theater. That if they stayed silent.
I actually saw a video recently. I didn't realize this happened when it happened, but you remember when Kevin Smith's movie Dogma came out and they were protesting? It was a news interview where they were interviewing some of the protesters, and Kevin Smith was one of the protesters.
Oh no shit!
I just don't know what you were even thinking. Like, how are you? He's like, he was just going. I was like, this is great. I love it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
I noticed that the company Sleigh Ride Inc. at the end. I thought that was hilarious. SLAYRIDE. My friend, classmate at Northwestern University, her name's Beth Lemberger, and her dad, since you mentioned TriStar, I didn't realize they released the film. Her dad was high up at TriStar, so I should look up. I imagine he would have been was there at TriStar at that time. So I should look up his name in the credits to see.
The film was banned. Jesus Christ.
Banned.
I love it.
The film was banned in Ontario and Alberta, Canada, due to its content. Wow. I don't know how long it was banned for, but yeah, there's a bunch of. It's mostly just this kind of stuff.
I've seen way more gratuitous violence in movies than this, and
way more.
Wow, I'm just like, huh.
And movies that are gigantic.
Yeah.
Huge movies.
The
whole Saw franchise,
Oh yeah. You ever seen any of the Saw movies, Nar?
No, you can You can assign your pupil to watch them.
No, I'm not a big fan of the movies, honestly, but
I enjoyed the first couple, and then it just carried on way too long.
I think the one like torture that gets me is the falling into the vat of needles.
Hypodermic needles.
Vat of needles.
Yep.
Hypodermic needles. There's this girl who was a heroin addict, and like as a punishment or whatever, they just dump her into a vat of hypodermic.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
actually
scary.
It's one of the people with her, because they're like trying to get some key in it, and they just take her and throw her. I'm like, whoa.
No, that's horrifying.
Yeah. Oh, that's the point of the movie.
Yeah. The first one's really good because it's kind of like a mystery suspense kind of thing.
But it's got what's his face from Princess Bride in it.
Jerry Elway's.
Yeah. And he does nothing but overact in that movie. It's just like he's bad in that movie.
It's okay.
It's painful for me to watch him because I'm just like, oh my God, dude, calm down. Like,
is he the bad guy in it?
No, he's not. he's the bad actor in it. Which is weird to say because I love him in Princess Bride, but
I love Princess Bride.
I'll
forgive him.
I won't.
I could never. In 1984, I was 11. If I had gone to see Silent Night, Deadly Night at age 11, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, I was only 6, so
No, I would not.
I was 9. I was 9. I was a
Mind you, I did get to see some of, probably not until I was probably like 10 or 11, though, the Nightmare on Elm Street. So
right. Well, yeah.
Just I think I don't agree with it being banned, but the idea of Santa Claus is just so real.
I actually think I remember the commercial. I think I remember seeing it and being like, I need to see this movie because I liked horror. I mean, my parents weren't going to take me to see it, but so just like normal, I would have to wait for it to either come on cable or be available for rent. But it was years and years and years before I saw this movie. A very long time. I kind of forgot about it. But so other than that, Nar, what did you think of the movie? Other than the fact that it's very gory and there's bubs in it. Other than that, it's my wife's grandmother. It's called boobs. She called me the bubs.
The bubbies.
Yeah.
I was just I hugely traumatized. Very well acted, but just probably these two, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and The Hills Have Eyes, have caused me the most pain.
Really? Even more than Texas Chainsaw?
Yes.
Really? Wow.
Yes. And I was surprised. I wanted Billy to be the hero, and so I was sad about his arc, but I understood it, and I love that the good nun
didn't die.
Right, and that she did seem to have compassion and understanding. I mean, of course, she hated that he was going on a killing rampage, but that you could see how sad she was for what he became, but it makes sense what he became.
Right.
But it was just so well done, but just so depressing, and the color palette in the film was
it was an old film, movie made on film. So like,
yeah,
it was a low budget film too. So they didn't have the best stuff. Just like when we're going to talk about The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah,
it's got a green field and stuff too.
Which makes it scarier to me.
Right.
If
there's
it had
a reason why it looks the way it does.
Yeah.
It's kind of an homage to another film, and it's also because of who we got the camera, the equipment, who we borrowed it from. We'll talk about that on that episode. But yeah. So, but are you? I mean, I'm sure you're not glad that you saw it, but
well,
when Linnea can be like, "Hey, I saw your bubs hanging from a deer."
Yeah,
they were fantastic.
Yeah,
I did. The biggest takeaway. No, I'm very glad I saw it. Well, that's a lie.
Yeah.
No, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have seen it, and that you assigned it to me as my homework, because I want to be a good pupil. I want to be a good girl, Jar and Kevin. But it does really make me realize how, and if you could see all the Christmas decorations we have around the house, but it does make me realize, I know I mentioned this, just how kind of sinister the whole idea, I mean, if you've been naughty or nice, all of that really is kind of creepy when you think about it, and this movie exposes all of that.
Yeah. There's other movies that like they, like we were talking. Oh, I mentioned Krampus earlier. Like because there's so many like different like lores about Christmas out there.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes into that. Like in other countries, it's like Santa will come give you gifts if you're good. If you're bad, Krampus will come. He'll take you away.
He'll eat your ass.
He'll kill you. Yeah, like that's how it was.
Well, maybe not just your ass. He'll eat all of you.
We'll start with your ass. Because let's face it,
that's the meatiest part.
He wants you to feel good at first.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Oh, no.
No. You bit me.
Santa's going to give you a little rim. Krampus is going to give you a little rim. Just
give this little kiss. And she goes, now I'm going to bite it. But yeah, so that's Silent Night, Deadly Night. We did it, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry fucking Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
May your tatas be warm and your coffee be full. Although my coffee's empty.
My coffee is non-existent. You bring it up all the time, you son of a...
It's because I love it so much. That's why I love doing these shows.
I'm drinking blood right now.
Oh, no. I'm drinking water.
Water.
Either water or
I'm drinking Santa's blood.
Santa's blood? Well, at least it's not menstruation blood.
I'm drinking.
Oh, no.
We didn't need to go that route. Let's go, guys.
I'm sorry.
All right. So, Nar, where can people go to follow what's going on in the Nara-verse?
In the Nara, okay. So Facebook is my name, as everyone sees, Nancy Ann Ritter. Instagram is the same at Nancy Ann Ritter. And am I allowed to say which conventions?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is
I
coming
thought you were going to say, are you allowed to do your OnlyFans? I was like, yeah, absolutely.
This is coming out before Christmas. So, yeah, anything you got after Christmas. Yeah.
Okay. If I'm still alive, if Billy as Santa Claus doesn't get me before the new year, my first convention with the cheerleader, Leonora, is February 3rd. Monster Fest Mania in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, which is Akron, Ohio, and that's February 3rd. And then we may just have gotten hired February 17th and 18th for a Comic-Con in Dixon City, Pennsylvania. So we're waiting to hear about that. And then our next for sure one is March 1st through the 3rd, Cult Classic Convention in Bastrop, Texas. And that's the husband and wife who own the gas station from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm so excited about, I'm excited about all of the conventions, but they got Brooke Smith from Silence of the Lambs at Cult Classic Convention, put the lotion in the basket poor girl.
The girl that was in the well?
In the well.
Get the hose.
From the goddamn basket.
So, yeah, they've got a fun lineup. And then, I'll turn. And then I've got to get Leonora. So those are the ones of me and Leonora. And then I've got to get her. There's one possibly called Planet in Kansas City, March 8th through the 10th. I actually should just say the ones that are for sure. Well, then possibly one in Nebraska in April. And then the next for sure one, April 27th and 28th, Four-State Comic-Con in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. And I've got to get the cheerleader on that with me. And then most likely May 12th, Rocky Mountain Comic-Con. May 12th. Wait, what's funny?
I said Rocky. You said Rocky Mountain. I said oysters.
Oysters.
Oh wait, is that an oyster? Wait,
no. Rocky Mountain oysters are what are they?
I thought they were moose balls.
Oh, they're testicles of an animal.
Yeah, some
Oh my
animals
God.
nuts.
Yeah.
I
Delicious.
love it. Then possibly Carolina Fear Fest, May 24th to the 26th, but that's only if they get David Arquette there. If they get David Arquette there, then they said they would have the Bathroom Girls. And then possibly one in June. Okay. And then but I'm waiting to hear about that. Then one in July, and then the next possibly, and then the next for sure one, August 24th and 25th, Harrisburg Comic and PopCon in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And then
You're
a
already
hunt
pretty busy.
again.
You're already
Well,
pretty
some
busy,
of those are to
Kind of up in
be
the air.
determined. But the ones that are for sure. And then a hunt in early October, and then Leonora and I have, well, my film that I'm in called The Only Ones will come out spring 2024. First, it'll premiere at film festivals, and then hopefully a studio will release it. If not, the writer-director will release it through streaming platforms online. And then Leonora and I have a film called The Girl 2 that Gigi Edgley's in as well. That'll be coming out 2024. And then Leonora and I are also in a film called The Woodmen that has kind of a similar feel since I watched The Hills Have Eyes, has kind of a similar feel to The Hills Have Eyes. It's its own thing. And that'll come out in 2024. And Leonora, the cheerleader, and I are in that, and they're already bringing us back for the sequel of The Woodman, which means Woodman. And then I start shooting a film in January called Blood and Breakfast. So that's me. Okay, yeah. So that's my stuff.
Nice.
What about you, Kevin?
Just A-Knuckle on Instagram. Besides doing the show with the lovely Jar Jar and the even lovelier Nancy Ann Ritter. I am also I do the Wicked Horror Show Tuesday nights 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with directors, actors, actresses, producers. Sometimes it's just guys talking about movies, whatever. And then I'm also part of that Strange Show on the Dorking Podcast Network, just like all the other shows on there. So
I just wish your show wasn't on this at the same time as my show.
That's okay. It's they're all still there.
I know.
If you ever really want to watch it, you can. I mean,
I do.
But yeah, I mean, they're fun. You know, we have sometimes we'll just have like one guest on. I think we had 5 on.
I like watching live so I can interact.
Yeah, and I think we're having one of the guys is coming back on. He's a producer and an actor. He's coming on for a different movie on the 26th, and he's like, "What's the maximum people I can have on?" And I'm like, "I think the maximum on StreamYard is 10 people."
Yeah, I think so.
You have to think that's me and Tony is 2 of them, so you can have 8. He's like, "All right." So.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting show.
Yeah, well, by the time I'm done introducing everyone, we'll have to wrap up. But yeah, so that's that. It's fun. Anyways, it's audio podcast is out there, video podcast is out there, and it's live. Like I was saying, that's where you can interact. So, like Jar Jar was saying, it's fun to interact.
It is.
Yeah,
it's very fun.
What about yourself?
Well, everybody, come friend me over on the Facebook at Jeremy Courtney, and watch on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. If you're not watching Kevin's show, come watch my show. And we're doing it called Splash Pages on YouTube or Facebook. And we talk to comic book people. Like this past week, we talked to Tony Harris. We got my mind's going blank. Eric Larson's coming up in January. There's actually quite a few people. We're pretty booked. Next week, we're doing a table read of just sitting there taking a comic book, and we're all taking different parts and gonna voice act it out.
Ooh.
I know, right? I love doing that stuff. It's goofy and like it's a real good time.
Are you gonna be serious? Or are you gonna make jokes?
Oh no, make jokes.
I was gonna say you would have to come up with the most ridiculous voice.
Oh, for this week, I think I'm going with my normal voice because they're gonna have me play Hellboy. But they've had me play a little kid, and I got to do my little kid voice and all
Do
that
it,
stuff.
do it, do it.
Not right now. I can't. I haven't practiced all day.
Oh, someone's
It's
a
just
little
like,
camera
hey,
shot.
everybody.
That's loud.
It is. It's just like, what's going on, Nar? Where are the patas?
They're right here. They're right here, Jar Jar.
My ears are gonna explode.
Oh, fantastic.
You guys are too loud.
I want you to come touch him, Jar Jar.
But we're gonna be doing
We're gonna go. Oh, really?
Oh,
Well.
But since we're gonna be doing Hellboy, I'm gonna try to go for my normal deep voice, maybe a little more deeper than what I normally do, but it should be a fun time.
I would.
Yes.
A lot of drinking and drugging for everybody. Should be a good time.
D and
No, I don't drink. I just smoke weed.
Don't we all?
Yeah, we should.
I don't think Nar does.
No?
I don't know. Do you?
Nar, what's your drug of choice?
Well, I always joke with Tony. I'd love, because I had 2 blackouts and wound up in the emergency room back in my 20s, early 20s. I love the alcohol. Well, I love living in the extremes. So I enjoy alcohol, but I stay away from it because I enjoy it so much that I like to take it to the extreme.
Understand.
Not in an alcoholism way, but just if I'm partying
Don't know
for a
when to say
night.
when.
So I don't. After my blood alcohol was 0.24 when I was 27. In the emergency room, I blacked out, and then because I think I may have already told you this, because I was in a film and my character has to drink to where she passes out, and I did method acting, and I really did. So that was, and I got really wasted at the Scream rap party and went home with somebody, and I was sharing cigarettes with Wes Craven, but I'm sad because I got so drunk at the rap party. I left early with some boy, and we were all smushed in a hotel room together, me, the crew and the cast of Scream, and Wes Craven and Nev and everybody. And I left that early because I was so drunk to go make out with the boy. So yeah,
Damn, that
Have we all
boy.
done that before? I mean,
I've definitely left too early to make
every
out with the
time I
boy.
see Nev, every time I'm like, sorry, I gotta go. Gotta make out with this guy.
I'm so sad because it would have been
This guy gonna play tonsil hockey for a couple minutes. I gotta get out of here.
I gotta go.
Gotta get out of here, man. Make some mouth love.
But I would love to try. Okay, this is a long answer, but I would, in a fantasy world, I'd love to try every drug.
I'm waiting until I'm 90. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure if you're
listening.
Yeah, and listening. Thanks for watching and listening. If you're only watching, then your ears are missing out.
Yeah, and if you're only listening, what are your eyeballs doing right now?
Yeah, right now. Keep your eyes on the road. All right. Good night.